All the philosophers warned us about this, especially Hannah Arendt. If we become atomized, it's a much more dangerous world. So let's connect.
I identify so strongly with what you said about the most dangerous emotion is the absence of all emotions. I mean, one of the reasons we set up the Conduit was to guard against inertia and indifference and numbness and fatalism, and that sense that every day there are things that you can do that restore hope in humanity and that can solve some of the world's most difficult problems step by step, not in a grandiose way, but step by step. So I'd like you to end with a note of optimism. Tell us what gives you joy, and tell us what should cause this audience to leave this conversation feeling buoyed and excited, notwithstanding both the inclement weather, metaphor connected, and the state of the world.
You ask me a difficult question. You know, I'm Turkish, and optimism doesn't come very easily to us. I think if you open a map of Europe and if you trace the river Danube, with your finger, as you go towards the Black Sea, you cross, you pass by Romania, Bulgaria, the Black Sea, the level of optimism drops and drops and drops. So pessimism would be easier for me. That said, I really think it's okay. It's okay for the mind to be a bit more pessimistic. Actually, it was a mistake, especially in late 1990s and early 2000s. There was so much optimism. And the biggest optimists back then were the tech optimists. They would tell us how Facebook was going to bring democracy to the world. Back then, a young family in Egypt, I remember they named their newborn baby Facebook, with all, because it meant hope. And I remember also a family in Israel, they named their third child Like. So think about those children, Facebook and Like, and look at the Middle East now. Fast forward, we have swung into the age of pessimism. I think it's okay for the mind to be a little bit more alert, as long as the heart can remain a bit more optimistic. And this is why this space that you've created is so important, Paul, because here we can slow down. This is not about snippets of information. Here we can hold nuanced conversations. We can disagree, agree, but learn from each other, listen. And I do find it very crucial to make a distinction between information, knowledge, and wisdom. We need to follow T.S. Eliot. He made those distinctions. Let's please deal with less information, because it doesn't help us at all. It just makes us arrogant. But more knowledge, and hopefully more wisdom. For wisdom, we need to bring the heart into the conversation. And so the optimism we need actually comes from our fellow human beings. When I hear your story, when I hear the story of women in Iran, for instance, the resilience of minorities in Turkey, you feel encouraged. You feel, you feel inspired. Just to finish, I think it's very important to make 3 connections in this age. One, with each other. Let's not become atomized individuals. All the philosophers warned us about this, especially Hannah Arendt. If we become atomized, it's a much more dangerous world. So let's connect. Let's connect beyond borders with each other. Secondly, let's connect with nature. A tree, a river, just walk by the river. But nature, I think, teaches us a lot. And thirdly, let's connect with the inner garden. Whatever we're going to call that, a spiritual journey, some other name for it. But I think to connect with the inner garden and to keep that inner garden is also very important. So 3 crucial connections to hopefully give us a bit more optimism.